What is up, everyone? It is Midwest Raider Fans, and we are back again for another episode of Midwest Raider Fans. It's Midwest Raider with Jimmy, and we're ready to rock and roll, bring you guys another video. Excited to do so. I know it's not exciting to watch these Raider games, but it's exciting to bring content to you guys, and we're going to try to keep doing that. We're not going to give up and keep going. So that's all we got for you. We wanted to go ahead and get into the game. Jimmy, any words of wisdom on the last game real quick? We did lose to the Los Angeles Rams with some home field advantage there because there was a lot of Raiders fans. It was pretty loud. It was pretty cool to see, but we still got the L by the end of the game, 20-15. We'll go over the stats in a little bit later, but Jimmy, overall, what's on your mind right now?
I think the biggest thing is that we need to fire Luke Getsy. The guy cannot call a game. I will say I did like that they moved him up in the box, whether that was his choice or somebody said, no, you need to be up here so you can see the whole field. But again, alas, we run it up the middle. I don't know. That's our key play. I don't get why that's our key running play. Nothing against Madison. What I think you're going to go in the stats, but 92 yards. So we still didn't break 100 yards from our running back against the worst rushing defense in the NFL. I know a lot of people are bandwagon throwing Minshew under the bus. I'm not there. Yes, I wish he would have done some things differently, especially that last interception. Could have thrown it away. Did some different things, but, all those mistakes weren't necessarily on him. The fumble and the ball's up in the air and you're getting, just blindsided, drilled. Only so many people hold onto the ball. Majority of the time it does come out. Unfortunately, it hurt us. It was a big key. You look at the stats. The better team did not win that game. Again, we shot ourselves in the foot. Tons of penalties. Play calling. We can get into it because when O'Connell was in there, the first quarter there before he got injured, the play calling seemed to be more of what I think we should have been calling for Minshew. And they were shorter passes, not super deep down the field, but I think that plays to Minshew's strength. Then O'Connell gets hurt, breaks his thumb when you find out, there as the game went on. So he's going to be out 4 to 6 weeks. So Minshew's our guy. But then we just switch it up. These two, we looked at it. You looked at it with us. On paper, they're pretty much identical with the exception of the long, deep pass. I think O'Connell is more accurate throwing the ball downfield than Minshew. So instead of doing that, we start running up the gut. 2 yards. 2 yards. Yes, we had a couple break, but he's going to get in the stats. I think the longest was 13 yards. I know AP said it, that we were gashing him on the run game. I didn't see us gashing it on the run game. We had a couple, that went further than our two. But again, I think it's the play calling. Getsy needs to call to our players' abilities, our players' strengths. And yes, I do believe that we have strengths. I don't think our guys are horrible. I think our guys are capable of doing what they need to do. And, managing with, we don't have that, quarterback that we all hope we were going to get, and we don't have that. But I think the guys we have, if we'd run to their abilities and call plays that they can do and not just run it up the middle, would give us a shot. But we run it up the middle.
Yeah, absolutely. And you were talking about the offense a little bit, but we both agree that the defense is the only thing great about this Raiders team. And I will say great because this Raiders defense has been on the field all year, and they're still chugging away. They're not giving up on these games. They're the only reason this game was 20-15 or whatever it was, and they kept us in the game all the way to the end. They even stopped the Rams at the end of this game to give us a chance again, give us more hope, which we knew was not going to happen because we had, this. Let's talk about this because once again, this is play calling, this is coaching, this is issues. In my opinion, and I'm going to get Jimmy's. We didn't talk about this before, but the end of the game, we kicked a field goal to make it 15, and we were in the red zone. In my opinion, we should have went for it. We had momentum. Even if we don't get it, even if they get the ball, they're going to be at the 8-yard line, and then they have to go against our defense, which did stop them, and then we get a shorter field because they have to punt. They're not going to punt it all the way to the end zone, so we would have had a shorter field to drive down the field. Instead, you put Minshew at the 10-yard line or something. He's scrambling in the end zone for his life to try to make a play, and he throws he should have just thrown it away. He's making bad decisions, absolutely. I totally agree. Even he agrees that he's making bad decisions. He's never played so bad in his life. But He hates. I want to say, I'm not speaking for him, but I'm going to. He hates Luke Getsy's offense. He looks depressed every time he's on the field because I think Luke Getsy is saying he's so ignorant that he thinks he knows everything on the offensive side of the ball, which he does not, and he's not working with Minshew. He's pretty much dictating to Minshew, this is probably what you need to do. This is, I want this, and I want this, and I want that, and that's not what Minshew can do. Evidently, we see it every time. And so, coaching is an issue. OC, offensive coordinator is an issue. A bunch of issues when it comes to coaching. And so I think that was a bad choice, in my opinion. He actually had a little rhythm. We were running the ball that drive a little bit, too. So the Raiders had momentum. And then we just shot ourselves after that because, once again, some bad play calling, bad coaching decisions. And then we were, And Jimmy had said this during the game, but he's like, so then you make Minshew throw long bombs at this end of the game when he hasn't thrown long passes all day. There's no rhythm for long passes. And he actually, his first one to Trey Tucker, hit him in the hands. And so it was a good pass. It was good defense by the Rams, and so that's why we didn't get it, but it hit him in the hands. And so the next one, I think it was off. He overthrew it, but then he throws the interception on the third one. So what do you think about that play call, that choice at the end? Do you agree with me or not? Because I remember during the game you said he was okay with the 3 points.
I was okay with the 3 points, thinking our defense was going to help us out, special teams would help us out, so we wouldn't be backed up at the 10. I think we're actually inside the 10 when we finally got the ball back. So I was okay because we needed 8 points. So getting that 2-point conversion, because we don't have a strong running game, we weren't gashing it up like they said, and most likely we probably would have tried to run it up the middle. So no, I was kind of okay. I like what you said. We had the momentum, and you do make sense because the defense kept us in the game, so they would have had to punt. They would have been, even if they got a first down, they're still inside, their 20-yard line, our 20-yard line. And, would have gave us a shot. Yeah. And then I want you, Luke Getsy, watch this video. And then what I want you to do is go look what Gardner Minshew did with the Colts. Because that was a Pro Bowl quarterback who led that team to the playoffs. Yeah. He was in there.
And the Pro Bowl.
Yeah. And he went to the Pro Bowl. And he went to the Pro Bowl. He's a Pro Bowl quarterback.
He's just not being used right, people. And I wish people would see that. We don't have an offensive line that's cohesive. He was under duress. We're not saying Minshew's a great quarterback. We're not saying that whatsoever, but he can be useful is all I'm saying. He could be used right if coached right, and he's just not being used right, and he doesn't look happy too, by the way. So we're not saying he's a great quarterback, but I think with the right OC, right coaching, right people play calling, that he could manage the game, basically, is what we're saying.
Yeah,
but anyways,
manager. Yes.
Let's go through the stats really quick. We can keep ranting all the time, but so we did lose. But if you look at the stats, we had 317 yards of total offense compared to Los Angeles's 259. But the turnovers are just killing us. We had 3 turnovers, and yes, Minshew was involved with those. But like I said, I can only blame him for 2 of them. One, he should have just thrown it away, and the other one was a pass that was behind the receiver, but it still hit the receiver's hands, and he tipped it up, and it got an interception. That's a 50-50 kind of, yes, he didn't throw it super on target, but the receiver can't be batting that ball up for it to get intercepted. So, I'm not trying to defend him. I'm just saying stuff you can't really totally blame him for. But anyways, but yes, we right now, we are the last in the NFL for turnovers. We have the most of them. We're the worst team for turnovers. I think we're plus 13 or something, and we've given other teams, I think, 47 points. You can't win if you're giving teams that kind of point spread in the right at the beginning of the game, because we're always digging ourselves out of a hole. So it's ridiculous. We had 10 penalties in this game once again, and it's not even the defensive penalties that are hurting us. It's the we're in the middle of a drive. We're kind of moving, and then all of a sudden we get offsides or false start. Yeah, and that's the big one that I think kills us every time. Or the new one that we get all the time is that freaking illegal man downfield. We can't control that. It's ridiculous. So Gardner Minshew, 15 for 34. Once again, he was not fantastic. 154 yards, no TDs, 3 interceptions. But O'Connell's 6 for 10, 52 yards. That's it. And then before he got hurt. I'm not saying Minshew would not have done better in this game, but I think it would have been a little bit of the same. So that's all I got to say, because they're very equal, as we always say. I was a little disappointed too that we were just not able to go downfield and try to hit DJ Turner or Tucker because we just don't have time. He doesn't have time to get the plays developed, and the OC is not finding plays that can get these guys involved and get them on shorter routes or get them on quick slant routes or something that we need to be doing more. We did go 5 wide at the beginning of this game, which I was super. And it worked a couple plays, but then once again, we go away from whatever works. So the big guy is Bowers. I feel really bad for him. Great player on a really crappy team, but I do love the confidence that he has. I do love what he says at press conferences saying, it doesn't really matter about me. I'm just trying to get on the winning side of football, and, aces for him, aces for him. But we did win time of possession and some things like that in this game, but the 47 points that we're giving away, not this game, but combined in the last couple games, that's a lot of a hole to dig out of. So,
yeah, 10 turnovers last 3 games.
Yeah,
I think 7 more interception, 3 fumbles.
So,
games.
Yeah, it was a horrible loss. It was a little bit more competitive. I love seeing the defense, but we still lost 20-15, and that's 3 in a row. So we do have the Kansas City Chiefs this week.
Raider Way play of the game.
Oh yes, the Raider Way play of the game does go to our special teams though. Daniel Carlson, who booted 5 field goals, which is a career record for him. I think he's done it. I think he's done it before, but that's still tied his career record of 5 field goals in one game. So, if we didn't have him, we would have had no points that game. So.
Yeah, how sad is that? We can't get to the end zone.
But it does remind me of some older Raider teams where Janikowski is just kicking field goals all day, and so it's kind of sad. But good for him, and he is the Raider Way. Plays of the game is all his field goals from different spots on the field. So thank you, Daniel Carlson, for what you do, getting the Raiders some points. All right, we will go to the Kansas City Chiefs. I was saying we were getting to that, but we do have to talk about a little Raiders news. We have picked up a couple players that I want to talk about, and one is the quarterback, Desmond Ridder. He's 25 years old, and he's played 4 games as a rookie in 2022, and then he started 13 games in last season for the Atlanta Falcons. He was 8-9 in his campaign as a starter, threw for basically 2,800 yards, 12 touchdowns, but had 12 interceptions as well. Had no interceptions as a rookie, but he only was in 2 games that rookie season. And he was drafted in the 3rd round, 74 overall in 2022. He does have a rapport, as we said, with our wide receiver, Trey Tucker, did play with him in Cincinnati. So that could be good if they could get something going together. Other than that, overall, I think he, like I was trying to explain to Jimmy, I think Gardner Minshew is like a USB stick 2.0, a really old one, and he would be like a 3.1 or a 3.2 or something like that. Upgrade. I don't think he's super talented, accurate, but he does have 4.52 speed, so he definitely can maybe get a little bit mobile out of the pocket faster. He likes to be tough, doesn't like to slide a lot, which is kind of good and bad, but he's not super accurate. Can throw a deep ball, but like I said, I would say he's better, medium-sized passes instead of going super deep. But he can throw the deep ball. I did see a lot in his highlights. Other than that, I'll pass it on to Jimmy. What do you think of this pickup for the Raiders?
Yeah, I don't think it's bad. I think there was other players I think we could have gone after. Money shouldn't be an issue. We got to sign him to, a 1-year deal. We just got rid of Devontae, and so we have a lot of money there. So I think there's some guys out there. Granted, I don't know if they'll do any better. Ridder, I know there's rumors, he may get the start. I don't see that happening just because he's not going to know the offense other than, our key play, which is run up the middle, which is pretty basic. When I coached for YMCA football, we ran that play too. So he could come in and do that. I don't think he'll get the start. I'm not saying he won't, come in if Minshew's, doing horrible, just giving the ball away to the Chiefs. So we shall see. I think it's just going to be that second guy, in the line just in case Minshew goes down. I don't see him starting, at least this game. Maybe after the bye, something might happen while we're waiting for O'Connell to come back, get healthy. Like I said, like you said, he's fast, so I do like he's got, mobility better than Minshew, obviously, which is better than O'Connell. So, maybe if we can, move the pocket, and try to get some of those deeper passes downfield that we have, Tucker and Turner running. Maybe something can happen. Like you said, he played with Tucker in Cincinnati. So, maybe they'll have some rapport. But I just don't see him starting this week.
Compared to our other quarterbacks, do you think he's pretty equal, or do you think he's the same? Or?
I think he's the same caliber. I think, like I said, we said it in the beginning of the season when we broke down the quarterbacks, when we still didn't know who was going to be the starter. I think with his stats, he's got some game experience. Like you said, 8 and 9 there for Atlanta. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I think he's going to be. It's the same guy, just a different name. You know what I mean? Nothing against any of them, but like I said, I just don't see him starting this week just because he's still younger. Third year in the league, and coming in, got to learn the system, learn the plays. So I don't see him starting.
We did pick up a wide receiver. I think it's from the Titans.
Yeah,
it's Terrence Marshall. I don't know a lot about him, but they are trying to pick up some depth. Because we are a little bit light. So it's good to see that Telesco is actually attempting to do something right for the team. So that's good. And so is the coaches and stuff. And we also picked a Trevon Wesco to the from a tight end to the practice squad as well. So they're picking up some pieces just so we have a little bit more depth, which is good. I don't know how much they're going to add, but we just wanted to add that in as some news.
Yeah, we heard... Jacoby supposedly practiced today. That's good news for us. Obviously, he's going to be our wide receiver 1. I think he's very capable of being wide receiver 1, but picking up that guy from Tennessee, obviously just going to help, depth-wise. Yeah. And, I know we have McAllister. I think he's back too. I can't remember if he's still injured or not, but like I said, I think the talent's there. I think we just need to work on plays that aren't running up the middle and... choose some plays that to our strengths. We just don't seem to have any strength on offense whatsoever, other than Bowers, and that's a lot of yak yards.
Yeah. My keys to I'm not even talking about keys for anything in the future. I'm just talking keys right now to make this team better. We just need some cohesiveness at the offensive line, which we've never had. We're always moving people around, setting pieces, having injuries, those types of things. So some cohesive weeks with that line to get better. We have some rookies on that line. We have DJ Glaze. We have Powers. But we got a lot of mistakes going on with that line, which you're going to see. And then we need a quarterback. But I still think with the correct OC, I think they could manage a quarterback to be a game manager, to just kind of dink and dunk across the field. You think that would be pretty easy to at least get lucky and win some games. So I think those are our big things. We do need a receiver, but I think we have some good talent there. I don't believe all Raider Nation saying, DJ Glaze, or not DJ Glaze, but DJ Turner and Trey Tucker and Jacoby isn't a pretty good wide receiver. I think it's really good. I mean, they're super hard workers. They're getting things done. They have some speed. Those types of things. They're just not being used right, guys. They're not being used right. So I think that's our biggest gripe. All right, now we have to get to the incredibly lame news about playing the Chiefs this week. I really, there's no reason to get into. I know you're going to get into the keys of winning the game.
Yeah, there's keys. It can be done. We've seen it. Christmas morning. Yes. I know Raider Nation, we all had a great Christmas. Everybody counted us out, except for you, me, him, us, Raider Nation.
So hopefully that can happen again. But really, in being realistic with what's going on with our 3 straight losses, we've never beat them at home. They're 18-4 against us. They've had 18 wins. We've only had 4 wins against them. We've never beat them in our stadium at Las Vegas, so I don't really see that happening. But, we are Raider fans. We're optimistic, but in all honesty, they have a really good defense. They have Patrick Mahomes and their offense. They are always getting more weapons. They have who now?
Hopkins. They just got Hopkins as a receiver.
And they got Xavier and Kelsey and Hunt and, all these weapons. And so it's just a little bit overwhelming for the Raiders right now because we're crippled with injury on the defensive side. Although they've been holding on, like I said, I think it's just too much for the Raiders right now. So I don't have any keys to win besides what Jimmy's going to talk about, but I'm not very optimistic about this game. I hope it's at least competitive because it is a divisional game. But the Chiefs don't want to get beat again, especially by the Raiders, since we beat them on Christmas. We ruined their Christmas, which is going to be my favorite for all time. But I don't think we've never beat them at home. They're gonna that's gonna be a Chiefs stadium. They'll probably be banging the drums and fucking
doing the chant.
doing the chop and everything in our stadium, which is gonna be ridiculous. So I just don't see it happening. But I'll pass it to Jimmy and get your keys for winning this game.
So I mean, Raider through and through. There are keys. There's things we can do. We saw it on Christmas Day. So some of those things. I've been saying it all year is the offense needs to sustain drives. We got to quit getting penalties, pre-snap penalties for one, huge killer. We need to drive the ball down the field. Like you said, I don't care if we're doing 4 yards of play. 4 yards of play all the way down. We need to do that. Give our defense time. Our defense can keep us in the game. Mahomes is not Mahomes as of the last. I mean, he's 6 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. He threw 3 against San Fran last week. So did Minshew. Just saying. And the difference is their complete package. Their defense is really good. I think it's probably one of the underrated. They don't talk about it because they're all about the offense.
Yeah, exactly.
They get takeaways, turn into touchdowns. I mean, they did it last week against San Fran. I think there's keys. Granted, I mean, it's, wishing the well, so if anybody got a well close by, go start flicking some quarters in there for us.
Yes.
I don't think it's going to happen just the way we're just too distraught. We don't have any key offense to do anything. I mean, other than run up the middle, and that's going to be super tough on, they got Jones on the defensive line there. So Powers is going to have his hands full. We can't leave him on an island. They're going to blitz. So our line, I think we need to have a moving pocket. Minshew can get out. Ritter, he's super fast, so he can get out, whichever one it's going to be. I don't think they've officially said who's getting the start. My guess is Minshew, but I don't know. We'll see. Yeah. So I think there's keys that we can do. Defense will hopefully, if we keep us in the game, I'm not saying it's, 100% Chiefs by any means, but I don't see it happening. We got to play mistake free. That hasn't happened at all this year. Nope. We don't really have any momentum on offense whatsoever, other than Bowers. And so they're going to be keying on him because obviously we're not throwing it to anybody else. Hopefully Jacoby's back, so hopefully that'll help us out a lot as well. But yeah, like you said, it's a divisional game, so I'm hoping it can be representable, kind of close, and not a total domination by the Chiefs, but we're going to see. Granted, we're going to have to play like a perfect game. Unfortunately, I don't see that happening. I just hope we can, keep it close. Keep it close.
I don't want to see a complete blowout. Even though the Chiefs normally averagely score 30 points a game, we've never scored 30 points a game.
It's been a while.
It's been a while since we've even got to 30. But I'm not seeing us being able to keep up with the Chiefs either because they're usually pretty high scorer, even if our defense. Max Crosby has to have a great game. Butler needs to have a good game too in the middle with the run defense. Spillane, Hobbs, Diablo. I mean, that defense can get things done. I really do. On the press conferences, they really said that that's the one thing they all do all year is prepare for the Chiefs because that's the team that we really need to beat. So hopefully that is correct. Even if this is like our Super Bowl for the year, playing the Chiefs and again whenever we play them again. I guess that's fine with me for this year. If we can beat the Chiefs, it's still some nice bragging rights for the Raiders. We were the last team to beat them, but I don't think we're going to get them at home. Maybe we can get them towards the end of the season. But yeah, they're on a run. I think they're 6-0 or whatever.
Yeah, 6-0. They'll be 6-0.
Do we want to bring up Kermit Gate?
We can't bring up Kermit Gate. Well, you brought it up, so yeah, let's bring it up. I wish he was playing.
That's true. So, no, we don't need to really bring it up, but, there's just things that's been in the past, plus we were the last team to beat the Chiefs, so there's just all kinds of animosity and bragging rights that are going on that I just don't see us able to squeeze the Chiefs this year, at least, since they're playing pretty good in all phases of the game.
Yeah, referees are in their pocket. Yeah, we've all seen the ticky-tacky calls.
So, especially at our stadium.
Bad calls, no calls.
We're just not really positive. I would predict the score that they're probably going to give it to us because, like you said, they might be doing some ring around the rosy too or something crazy. I'm going to say 30-13. and that's a Chiefs win right there, 30-13.
See, I like that. I'm going to go 24-17. I think
24-17.
Yeah, I think we can hold them.
We can
I
keep it in the
think,
game.
well, yeah, keep it in a game. Again, that's obviously the Chiefs pulling this one out. I did say in our previous video I thought we'd split it. I wanted to win Black Friday, ruin their Thanksgiving, just ruin all the holidays. You know, like you said, nobody's beat them since us. We have the keys to beating them, keeping Mahomes off the field, and, you know, like I said, when he is on, contain him. They get frustrated. Kelsey hasn't been his normal self. Mahomes hasn't been his normal self.
Yeah.
So there's keys. Again, I think we just got to play perfect ball, and I don't see that happening tomorrow.
It'll be really, really tough.
Sunday, sorry.
We're guessing right now that Minshew's going to get the start. If Minshew has another terrible game, and like I said, I'm not going to blame Minshew. I'm going to I'll blame Minshew, but I'll blame everything else around him too. Then we have to go ahead and let's see what Ritter can do for us. See if he can give us any kind of boost into the next game against the Bengals. Give him a start after he has a week or so in our offense. Hopefully, like I said, he can have enough plays of runs up the middle that he'll be able to, do something in that game. But so yeah, I'll say Minshew's probably, at least since he's been with the team, should get the start against the Chiefs, and then we'll start Desmond maybe next week if Gardner doesn't have any kind of game this week. So that would be what I would like to see. Who knows if that's what's going to happen? Maybe they'll start Ritter this week. I don't know, but it'll be interesting to see it in the future. So I think that's all we got for you. Sorry it wasn't the greatest news that you want to hear, that the Chiefs are probably going to give it to us this week, but it is what it is, guys, and we are what our record is right now, and 3 losses in a row. Yes, we always have hope, but the Raiders always take that away. So the only thing, like I said, that makes the Raiders look good is me and Jimmy here, because we're looking good in our black and silver. We're always going to rep it. We just look good, man, making those Raiders look good. So that's what we're going to say. And, we're Raider fans, so please like, subscribe, share.
Share. Let us know in the comments. What do you think? What do we got right? What do we got wrong? What do you think? Total blowout? I don't know. Let's talk.
We want to know. Let us know your keys. What do you think, what needs to change? Do you agree with some of the stuff we say? You hate some of the stuff we say? Whatever. We just want to talk football. Leave us some comments. Like, subscribe, share. And I think, as always,
go Raiders!